Oh, hello, YouTube. So here's an update on the analog room. I'm in the space right now as we speak. The landlord still needs to clean all the floors and there's no place to sit, so I'm sitting here in the windowsill. This actually might be kind of a functional seat for us anyway. So I've officially been in Austin for 3 weeks now. So much has happened. It feels like I've been here for months. But we're in the space, we're in the analog room, and it's getting really exciting now. One of the first things that I've had to do was when I got here was to manage my living situation, obviously. I still feel like my home is in Merida. I feel like it always will be at this point. But effectively, I did move to Austin. So all the typical things that you guys know about moving, setting up, finding a place to live, finding the right neighborhood that's close to the analog room, that's safe and walkable, setting up utilities, all that stuff I had to do, which feels kind of weird at this point in my life that I'm setting up and moving effectively by myself. The only difference is I didn't have to lug any furniture or anything like that, so that made it that much easier. I actually hired a company called Nixon Living. They're local, I think, in Dallas. Great service, by the way. If you live in Dallas and are moving, what they do is they look at the floor plan of your apartment or your residence, and they outfit the whole thing with furnishing, including cooking supplies, some toiletry stuff, towels, all the furniture, all the bed, table, everything. And for like a monthly price, it's of less than $500 for me for the size of my apartment. Great service, by the way. Anyway, I digress. So with the analog room, we just had to get through the lease. So we went back and forth on the lease. No big deal. I think everyone's happy about that. And the lease officially starts on May 1st, and we've got early access for the rest of April. So here we are. So Martina was out during her spring break for about 10 days. And so she has been responsible for the interior design and kind of the look and feel of the analog room. So she's been, for months now, really, scouring the internet for the right type of furnishing to match kind of the look and feel that we're going for in here. So when we got early access, we got our blue tape from Home Depot and started to just lay out all of the furniture arrangements that we think to make sure it's all going to fit.
Yellow. The mustard yellow.
Yeah, so living in Austin has been great. There's been a few things that are very different than what I'm used to. The first thing is like everybody here is super fit. It's crazy. We walk down by the Lady Bird Lake and everybody is outside and running or walking or biking or throwing the frisbee around or playing volleyball. It's such an active community who really enjoys being outdoors, and I love that. I love being around that type of environment, and it's just really fun to see. People seem to really have a great work-life balance here and really, enjoy being outside, which is really cool. The other thing that they have here that they don't have in Merida are Waymo cars. So these autonomous cars, which I rode in the first time today, which is quite an experience. It's a little unsettling at first, I have to say, but the end of the day, it's a great service. It's everything's automated and it's as easy as you can imagine. But I did feel a little bit sad. It feels so isolating in there. You're all alone. There's no driver to even talk to make small talk with, and I just feel like we're getting more and more isolated with the technology advances. I was in the gym this morning, and everyone around me has their headphones in, and sometimes I do. I didn't today, but everybody is just on their own path. There's no interaction. There's no eye contact. Nobody's saying hello. It's kind of bizarre, to go from that and then go into an automated car with no driver. It just feels a little bit isolating, like I said, especially because I'm here alone. I don't know anybody yet. So another observation I have, which is just a cultural thing, is in Mexico, where I've been living for 7 years, it's just normal to say hello to strangers who you pass on the street. So, it's, buenos dias or buenas tardes or buenas noches to anybody you pass by. It's just what everybody does. And here, people in Austin are friendly, they're nice, but it just culturally, it's bizarre to me that you can pass someone in the streets and not even make eye contact with them. And, it's just a reflex that I say hello now because that's what I've been trained to do for the last 7 years. And it catches people off guard a little bit. And, I started feeling self-conscious about it. And then I said, no, screw it. I'm just going to, I'm going to be the one to say hello. And I think we could really take a lot from the Mexican culture in that way. It just makes the world seem a little bit friendlier. You know what I mean? The last thing I'll say before I show you the space, I didn't expect Austin to be this cloudy and rainy. Like, I was told that this is effectively the winter season or kind of finishing up the winter season here. And everyone says, don't rush the sun because it gets hot here, but bring it on. Like, I'm used to seeing the sun every single morning when I wake up, and here it's just cloudy, and if the sun breaks out, it breaks out later in the afternoon. So it's been a bit of an adjustment. I have to admit. I love the sun, and not seeing it here really has an effect on me. Not a good effect. All right, so here's the plan with the analog room. Let me show you around real quick here and show you kind of what the plan is. Turn this around. So we'll head to the front door here, and I'll give you a quick little tour. Everything is subject to change, obviously. All right, so here's the front door. So people will enter from the street. Take you outside real quick. Enter from the street and come up the stairs here. Okay, in through the door, and then they'll turn left. And here's going to be kind of the reception area. They're going to get rid of this big thing. So reception will be around here somewhere. I think we're probably going to have our phone hotel here. So this is where people will check in their phones. Okay, as we proceed straight through here, this is the quiet room or the reading room. So this is nice, spacious room. Very, very quiet already. I think all the windows are double pane, so it keeps everything really quiet in here, which is nice. All these desks will be removed. All right, so no productivity in here. Productivity is discouraged. It's going to be a room that's just quiet. We might host some events at night here, but if people want to read or meditate or do breathing exercises, all that is going to be appropriate in this room here. Okay, as we move on, this is going to be our vinyl listening lounge. So we'll have probably 3 chairs will fit in here. We'll have different record players with different vinyls to choose from and headphones, and you can just vibe out in this room here. This is just a bathroom here. We've got a bathtub here that we're not sure what to do with. So if anyone has any suggestions on how to make this aesthetically pleasing, let me know in the comments. Right now we're thinking probably just some plants. Keep it green in there. Looks a little strange to me. That's just a storage unit there. Back to the front door here. This is a beautifully wide hallway here, so we'll have some nice green plants here, a couple places to sit and read here. You know, maybe a chess table. This might be a good place for if anyone wants to play chess. And then I'll show you here over to the left, there are 3 successive rooms. And I'll take you through each one. Okay. And they're really meant to be kind of a progression of energy or of being social. So this will be the library here. You can see here we have the blue tape for a table. So it'll be a little bit of a table if people like to journal or read or do puzzles or games or whatever. They can do that on the table. This will be a long bookshelf here that will have a whole library set up. A couple places to sit and read here. Okay, so now we move from the library into kind of the lounge or the salon area. Got a nice big sofa here, and then there'll be obviously some other places to sit around here. So this would be a nice place to get a cup of tea or coffee or a glass of wine and just kind of sit and socialize a little bit, just kind of vibe out in here. And then this will be the bar area. Right, so you can see we have the bar laid out here, real small bar, but functional. We'll start out doing some wine and beer and maybe move into cocktails later on. We haven't really decided yet. And then we have mapped out here other kind of cool places to hang out with some stools. You know, we'll probably have 3 or maybe 4 bar stools here. So this is the analog room. Folks, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful space that really is just set up perfectly for us. And look at our location. I mean, that's downtown right there. So we're really close by. It's a great location for us and we're super excited. So thank you so much for joining us on this adventure and this project. I think it's important. I think, you know, everyone I talk to about it here is really, really excited. We have a few people who are already interested in becoming founding members, which means that they will be kind of the first ones in. They kind of will have a big say on the culture of the analog room, the hours, a lot of the operational things, the agreements, all that stuff. So people are excited about this already. We're hoping to be able to open, you know, do some soft opening with some small events. Middle of May, it's pretty optimistic, but I think we can do it as long as the furniture arrives in a timely manner and we get the bar built out. And there'll be some bumps along the way, and I hope to film them all and take you guys on the journey. Thanks a lot for joining me, guys. Go analog.